Welcome to another podcast in our BDSM United Types of Play series. Today, we're going to talk not so much about things that include impact, like we had talked about floggers and paddles and spanking. Going to kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about some of the uh, types of often overlooked things that you can help to incorporate into your BDSM play. Besides lubrication, there are many other different types of ointments, oils, and jellies which are used in this lifestyle. They create different kinds of sensations and reactions depending upon where they're applied and really how much is applied. A few types of things might be something like Tiger Balm, which is really used for heating. Bengay or icy hot or other mentholated rubs. They can be heating and cooling depending on the mixture. Something like cinnamon oil or peppermint or spearmint oil. These essential oils are sometimes go on cool first and then kind of turn hot later. Things like massage oils, they're soothing, they're sensual, they may be warming. Something like baby oil is also soothing and it's sensual and slippery. Body lotions and creams, these are oftentimes sensual and they may be warming. Edible body paints is a really good sensation kind of play. These items can be classed in two different categories: those which heat or cool the skin, and those which are more sensual in nature. And when using any type of oil or balm or any of these items applied to the skin, it's important to be aware of any risk factors that go along with these items. The one effect which is common to all of these items is the risk of sensitivity or allergic reactions. For this, we recommend consulting a healthcare professional such as a dermatologist. That's a skin doctor. Always test each item on a small patch of skin inside the elbow. If the person becomes itchy, irritated, or the skin becomes red or inflamed for an extended period of time, don't use that item on any other part of the body, as a side effect can be very damaging and very irritating for the person. If those who are sensitive, in those who are sensitive, these items can sometimes leave permanent scars or cause damage which requires immediate medical attention. An allergic reaction can be really bad for somebody involved, depending on how their body reacts. Heating items can cause burns when applied to mucous membranes, like inside the nose, in the vagina, or in the anus, inside the urethra of a penis. It's a good idea to dilute these types of items before using them. Tiger balm, for example, it comes in more than one strength. Essential oils usually come in a strength which is too hot to apply directly. um, some of the oils are the same as mentholated rubs. These items are meant to be applied to the outer layer of skin, which is not as sensitive to the soft tissues of the vulva and rectum. Dilute these items before using them. You can always increase the strength if desired, but it's often difficult to remove them if you put them on too strong, or at least remove the effects very quickly. It's best to use a water-based lubricant to dilute with. Start with a mixture of one part of a heating or cooling ointment to 2 or 3 parts of lubricant. This will cut the strength by like 50 to 75%. Again, always test for sensitivity before using these items. As we mentioned just a moment ago, you can adjust the dilution to be stronger or weaker as needed. Never apply full strength to anything that is to be inserted into the body. Let me repeat that. Never apply full strength of any of these things to anything that's to be inserted into the body. These items are often difficult to remove from the skin and almost impossible to remove from inside the body. The burns which can result from these items range in severity from mild discomfort to third degree burns. Items which cool the skin can also cause burns, but not from heat, but from the cold. These burns are actually just as painful, and they can be just as serious as those caused by heat. Again, test for sensitivity and always use a diluted mixture for anything that's to be inserted in the body. Be aware that anything applied in or near the vagina, the penis opening, the anal area, it can and will cause infections in some people. The vagina, for instance, has a balance between yeast and bacteria. Introducing foreign objects, whether they're solid objects or creams, oils, lotions, it can upset that balance and they can more easily cause an infection. Anything that has a petroleum base or an oil base can cause infection by giving yeast and bacteria a wonderful base to grow on. If your partner's prone to frequent yeast infections or urinary tract infections, which UTIs, it's a good idea not to use these items inside them or to not use them very frequently. Always be sure you have the required item that will remove the mixture from the skin close at hand. For those things which are oil based or petroleum based, water and soap won't remove them, but sometimes milk will. In some cases, a dishwashing liquid that cuts grease, something such as Dawn, will remove it from the skin as well. A washcloth can be used to wipe off excess, but remember that many of these items will be absorbed by the skin and the effects will remain despite being washed off. When experimenting with these items which heat or cool the skin, it's a good idea to start with less sensitive areas. Nipples, the hollows at the top of the thigh, like the inner thighs, the outer lips of the vulva, the underside of breasts, behind the scrotum, and similar spots. If they're going to be used on the clit, the inner lips, or on an insertable object, remember it's a good idea to start with like a 75% or higher dilution. Never use full strength inside the body. I can't say that enough. At least a 1-to-1 mixture at the very least. Applying a heating lotion before a spanking or a flogging, it'll increase the burn and the sting of the pain play. Applied afterwards, it'll make the sting and the heat last longer. But never apply to broken, abraded, or otherwise non intact skin. Oils and rubs, which are more sensual in nature, are often used in things like massages and other soothing types of play. These can be wonderful for both participants, but be careful of applying oil based lotions to the vaginal or the rectal area because they can cause infection. Again, test for allergic reactions, as stated numerous times. And if you're unsure of anything, consult a dermatologist or other healthcare professional. A massage is wonderful, but if it's followed by a week of itchy, red, irritated skin or an emergency visit to a doctor, it's not really as much fun. Many of these oils are scented, and these scents can be used to create feelings of arousal or calm, such as lavender. In they can be used similar to aromatherapy. They can provide a very interesting twist to a lovemaking session. But be aware that many people also have sensitivities to smells, and the perfumes used to scent the oil can sometimes cause an allergic reaction on the skin it's applied to, as well as possible breathing difficulties for those who may be asthmatic or have other breathing problems. Just remember, be creative and have fun with experimenting, but make sure that you are risk aware with anything you put inside or on another person's body. I'm Primal Piggy. You can find me on Facebook at The Primal Piggy, all one word. You can also find me as an admin of a Facebook page called Whips, Chains, and Duct Tape. You can find that on Facebook at WCDT BDSM. Just put that in the search bar and it should pop right up. You can find us on the web at www.bdsmunited.com. If you're listening on your favorite platform, give us a like, a subscribe, leave a review. Tell somebody else that you know that may be interested in these types of educational podcasts. This allows you to connect with us and hopefully allows others to connect with these educational resources. As I've said in other podcasts, we've been doing this since 2012, providing nonviolent, consensual, traditional BDSM education to adults. And we've reached hundreds of thousands, maybe more people in that time frame. Thank you for listening today to this BDSM United podcast.